This is a really good subject because it covers much more than just job scheduling, but it also covers connecting TopBuilder to your work calendars, your Outlook or your Google calendars, which really helps streamline the workflow that you have and the communication and collaboration between you and your teams. And I'm going to do my best to deliver this within 30 minutes, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you've been to our webinars before, you know we follow a fixed agenda. We're going to give you a quick update on our webinar series. We're going to cover the topic background. We have a quick poll question. We'll cover the topic itself, the scheduling and the calendar integration. And while we're covering that, we're going to toggle back and forth between examples and slides on how it works, and then we'll show you how it works directly within TopBuilder. So let's go ahead and get started. And of course, we're going to wrap up with some Q&A. Okay, so you've noticed we have several of these webinars a month. We've been doing about 3 a month. We're going to go to 2 a month. We're going to try to do it every other week because the time commitment, candidly, is pretty high to promote these things and prepare for them and then do them and then follow up. So we're going to back it down to a couple a month, probably every other week. But they'll still be on Thursdays at this time for construction companies. So you can count on that. All of our webinars, I hope you've noticed by now, are, they try to be educational. It's not always about TopBuilder. It's not always about CRM. We want to weave in some real world, examples and experiences from TopBuilder. But we try to focus on solving problems and education and not necessarily pimp out features because that's not what this is about. We're going to skip next week. No webinar next week. It's spring break for a lot of people, including myself. So we're going to skip next week. And then every Friday, after the webinar is done, we're pretty good about this. We'll send out the recording. You can also download the slides from the email we send out, and then also you can schedule a follow-up. These webinars go pretty fast, and we cover a lot of ground in just 30 minutes. And so if you want me to slow it down, or if you want a demo, or if you want to talk to us about it further, we're happy to do this for you. So just reply to the email or click on the link to schedule a demo. Okay, so let's cover the background real quickly on this topic. It's not just about scheduling. Scheduling is a big part of it, but calendar integration is the other part of it. And what the calendar integration and the scheduling allows you to do is streamline the communication and the collaboration you have between, your different teams, your sales teams, your estimators, your project managers, your crews, if you have them, or your subs, if you sub some of your work out. And we're going to show you how to do this in the demo. So that's obviously a big part of it. Now, what's included in a lot of the calendar integration pieces and the scheduling pieces are things like bid due date. So if you have a lead that has a bid due date on it, it will tie into your calendar, whether it be Outlook or Google or whatever, and it'll appear in your Outlook or Google calendar based on that bid due date. Now, what's also included are the follow-up tasks. So if you have a task to follow up on a bid or on a lead or whatever, maybe it's a job, that task has a due date on it, and it will also show up on your calendar. And then, of course, directly job appointments that we're going to show you how to set up today will show up on your calendar. And then, of course, the person that is assigned to that appointment it'll appear on their calendar. And then definitely if you have a project with a start date and an end date on it, those will appear on your calendars as well. And that's going to depend on whether you're a project manager or a crew. Okay. Now, one of the main goals of setting up calendar integration, and we just want to let you guys know we use it ourselves here at TopBuilder, it really does streamline the entire business development process from start to end. It's not just about, communicating between your teams and your estimators. That's important for sure. But just for one individual, if you've got Top Builder connected to your calendar, as it says here, you can work directly off of your calendar. So all of your bids will, and the bid due dates will be on your calendar. You'll get alerts when a new bid is assigned to you or a new lead is assigned to you. Tasks, again, will show up on your calendar, and it really allows you to work directly off your calendar. And then each one of these appointments or these alerts or the reminders have a link. And I have a couple screenshots of these, and those links will take you directly into that lead or that bid opportunity, or directly into that task where you can complete the task or do your work and then close it out. And it really makes things move a lot quicker. You don't have to look for things. You don't have to search for things. It tells you what to do, and it tells you directly on your calendar. And it's literally changed the way I work every day. So I can speak to that for myself. So the main components of the calendar integration, the scheduling, are certainly alerts for new jobs, bids, or task assignments. Again, it's based on bid due dates, and there's something called a bid calendar that will show you all your bid due dates on them on one calendar, and I'll show that to you. Certainly setting up job appointments, and this is not job scheduling. It's different from job scheduling. It's job appointments. So if you need to set an appointment with a project manager or an estimator or somebody else on the team to go to the job or visit with a customer, or anything related to that lead or that job, you can schedule an appointment directly with that person from the lead or the bid opportunity. Okay. And then there's certainly job scheduling, which is the actual project itself, the start of the project and the end of the project. And that applies to your project managers, your crews, and or your subs. And then we already mentioned the follow-up tasks. Okay. So another big part of this, and then we'll jump into the poll question, connecting Top Builder to your Outlook or your Gmail does not apply only to calendars. It also applies to your emails, okay? And so why is that important? Well, connecting Top Builder or any CRM through your Outlook or your Gmail allows your emails to be distributed through your work email address, your Outlook or your Gmail. And that may not sound like a big deal, but it makes the emails much more personalized. They come from you, they come from your Outlook, not from a third party. Top Builder is great, but people don't want to see emails coming from Top Builder. They want to see them coming from you. And so they'll come directly from you, and that includes quotes and proposals, and then follow-up emails. If you have a follow-up email for a bid, or they visited your website or something, that is also generated and sent directly through your Outlook or your Gmail. It's much more personalized, and candidly, it has a much higher rate of being delivered to your inbox versus the junk folder. Not that we have an issue with that, but coming directly from your email account does increase the level of deliverability there. Okay. Also, if we send an email through Top Builder and it's sent out through your Outlook or your Gmail, a copy of that will be in your sent folder. If it bounces back, it'll bounce back directly to your Outlook or your Google. And then also they reply directly to that work email address, your Outlook or your Google. And then finally, I guess we kind of said this already, but we'll repeat ourselves again. It's really synchronizing all of your activities, your appointments, your follow-up tasks, and everything directly with your work calendar. And I know I'm repeating myself here a little bit, but it really literally does change the way you work and makes you much more efficient and effective. And when I say effective, what I mean is you won't miss a date because you'll get a reminder, you'll get an alert, and it'll be directly on your calendar, and you won't miss it. Okay, so we're going to jump into a quick poll question. We had fun with this morning, And so we're going to jump in real quickly and launch a poll question. We're going to do this for about 15 seconds. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I want to get an idea from you all how you handle these things today, how you coordinate and schedule appointments between your teams today. And so I'm going to give you about 15 seconds. And we got a lot of people, so I doubt we'll get everybody responding, but we'll do our best. Okay, this is very different from our home builders, by the way. Oh, come on now. I know somebody uses a whiteboard because I hear it. Okay, about half of you have voted. I'll give it a little bit more time. All right, let me go ahead and close the poll. We didn't get a bunch of people voting, but we'll go ahead and close it now. All right, so this is interesting. Approximately, it's not a round number, but approximately 30% of you schedule and coordinate appointments through email and phone calls, which is we find to be pretty typical. You get on the phone with the customer and you work it out. The others use shared Outlook or Google calendars. That's roughly 70%, and no whiteboards and no third-party scheduling tools. But I do know that we have a lot of customers that are scheduling things through a whiteboard, and that's mainly crews. But I guess none of them are here today. So anyway, so let's jump on to the meat of this now. We're going to talk about how this works, and there's a lot of back and forth here between the slides and Top Builder, so you'll have to bear with me on that. And then again, we'll demonstrate how you actually set these things up and schedule things. Okay, so quickly, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to connect Top Builder to your Outlook or Google, and I am logged in as myself. Not there. Let me see here. Nope, I'm not logged in. I'm gonna get myself logged in real quickly. And we're gonna demonstrate the setup part of this through my account because I'm live and connected to Outlook. So the first thing you'll do is you'll go ahead and enter your Outlook email address, and it'll prompt you for your Outlook password. And this could be a Google account as well. As you see, we have a Google account. And then once you do that, you get to select the calendar that you want to use and synchronize with, and then you can select basically how do you want to use this Outlook or Google account. Do I want to use it to send emails, proposals, automated follow-up emails? Do I want to use it for calendar appointments, of course? And then, and I think I already said quotes and proposals. And then you can set up your preferences, okay, so that you can decide, well, what do I want on my calendar? Do I want follow-up tasks on my calendar? Do I want bid due dates to show up on my calendar? If I'm a project manager, do I want bid due dates and the project start and end dates on my calendar? Same if I'm an estimator, do I want that to show up on my calendar based on the bid due date? And then if I'm a crew on a project, crew member on a project, do I want that on my calendar? And this allows you to turn them off if you don't really want to see them. But then also you can define where you get your alerts, past due alerts. Do I want an email? Do I want a text message? Or do I want both? But this is how I set mine up. Okay, so we'll bounce back over to the presentation real quick. There we go. And we already showed you how to select your calendar and your preferences. And then you can also assign roles to estimators. These are security roles, okay? And the way that works is under Manage Users, you can set up estimator roles. So I can set myself up or somebody else up as an estimator. And then also, I'm not going to go into all of this, but you can set up your crews. And in your crews, each crew has a team member which is also connected to their Outlook calendar. So each of your crew team members can see their jobs and their assignments directly on their calendar. So that's how that part of it works. Okay. Now, when a bid is created or a lead is created with a bid due date, what will happen is that bid, we talked about this, or the task, well, the follow-up task will automatically appear within your calendar based on those dates. And so if I log into the demo account real quickly, what you will see is a bid calendar, and anyone that is assigned to a bid based on the bid due date, they'll see that bid show up on their calendar. And then you can use our bid calendar to see when all of your bids are due and see if we're missing an assignment. And the yellow ones show up as a missing assignment. In other words, there is no estimator assigned to this bid. And then you can set up an estimator, assign it to the bid. You can have a primary estimator. I tell you what, I'm going to do Ashley as my primary estimator, and Brooke. These are our primary and supporting estimators. And then once we do that, you can see that it goes yellow. Now, what's happening in the background is Ashley and Brooke are getting an email alert that says you've been assigned to a project, and I have some examples of what that looks like here, as the estimator. And they can click on a link and go right into the job, but also that bid due date, which is 3/14 at 4 p.m., shows up on their Outlook calendar to say, hey, you have a bid that's due on that date. And again, that has a link on it as well. Okay, so now we already showed you, and we talked about the alerts, and we already talked about the bid calendar. And now here's where it gets fun. So if I go back over to the demo account and I go to my dashboard, okay, and on my dashboard, I've got my leads, and I'm just going to pick one of these leads, and I'm going to go into this lead, and let's just pretend like we're working with the customer, we're on the phone with the customer, or we're emailing the customer, and we say, okay, look, we need to go out and take measurements. We need to go out and take job photos. Or maybe you just need to go out on the job and speak with the foreman or the project manager. It doesn't matter what it is, but you need to schedule somebody to go out and deal with this, okay? And so what you can do right from this lead is click the schedule appointment button, and it's going to take you right into the scheduling module. And Dave Knowles, I am assigned to this lead. And so it defaults to my calendar. But you can also say, well, really, Dave is busy, so I'm going to add a couple people here to see if they're available to go out on site. And yes, we find that Brooke is available to go out on site on Friday. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to send her out at noon. I right mouse clicked and I said, add appointment. And what you will see is that Brooke has been assigned to go out on this job, even though the job is assigned to me. All the information about the project is here, including the address and the appointment start and end dates and some notes. And now what it also does is it automatically selects everybody that is on that actual project. So if I go back to the lead, these are all the people that's on the project, and it automatically defaults to select them. But you may just say, well, look, I'm not meeting with all these people today. I'm just meeting with Angel, and I select OK, and it goes ahead and schedules that. And so now it's on Brooke's calendar. The client gets an appointment in their inbox. Now, they're not connected to Top Builder necessarily, but they'll get an email that's with the appointment on it, and they can accept the appointment. But now it's on Brooke's calendar, and she has it on her calendar, obviously, but she also gets an alert that you have a new appointment set. Now, you can move these things around. You can change it. This automatically updates their calendar when you move things around, Okay. And that way, it's seamless and it's easy to just go ahead and move things around and reschedule things if you need to. And again, that updates their Outlook calendar automatically. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, scheduling is another component of this. So scheduling is where you can go in and look at all your jobs on this job schedule. And some of you guys are using this already, but you can see here that I've got a couple jobs going on, and let's just say they're starting on Monday and ending on Friday. And then this one starts on the 15th and it ends on the 17th. You guys have jobs that are maybe a lot longer than this, but these are individual, roofing jobs or something like that that don't take more than a few days. But now that I'm here, what I can do is I can go ahead and I can assign a crew to that job. And by doing so, what I can do is I can say, well, look, I can pick a crew based on the trade that they perform. And let's just say this is a roofing job. Okay. And now I have all my roofing crews available, and I can go ahead and select them and add them to the job. Okay. Now, what I can do here is I can add notes and go ahead and assign that crew. And you can see that the color changed to green, which was the color of that particular crew. And you can see there's two little stop signs there. There's a stop sign that says a crew has been assigned, and the other one is purchase orders. Do I have a purchase order against that particular job? Because if I don't, there's a risk that the materials will not be there in time to do the work. So that gives you that little visual. Okay. And again, this is connect to the crew's calendar. They'll get an alert that they've been assigned to the job, and it'll show up on their calendar as well. Okay. So back over here. I think we've talked about this quite a bit, but I'm going to show you what some of these alerts look like using screenshots. So we talked about alerts and reminders when a new follow-up task maybe has been generated or assigned to somebody. This is what it will look like. A task has been assigned to you. It's got all the information about the task and a link to go right into Top Builder. And then for the estimators, we have this is an alert that says, hey, you've been assigned to a project as the primary estimator. It contains a link to go look at the project right here, and they go directly in there. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps it up. We ran over a little bit longer than we did this morning, but still within the 30 minutes. And I see we have a bunch of questions. So, Lana, what questions do we have?
Well, I'm looking, Dave. Let me get this pulled out here real quick, and I can give you. Yeah, the questions. Actually, I only showed from one person who couldn't hear at the beginning, but now
I see that. And then he said he can hear. Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, the question.
And that's why I always test with Lana to make sure everybody can hear me before I start, because I don't want to get 30 minutes into this and I didn't unmute myself. So okay, that's great. Again, what we'll do is we'll send out an email tomorrow with a link to the recording, and you can download the slides. And we encourage you. Very important. This came up this morning, so let me go ahead and answer this question to you all. The calendar integration comes with Top Builder. You do not have to pay for the calendar integration. The job scheduling is an added module. However, the calendar integration, whether that be with Outlook or Google or whatever, that comes with your subscription. And I've said this 10 times already. I'm going to say it 11 times, I guess. But it really changes how you work every day. And just try it. I mean, you don't have to pay for it, so hook it up. And if you don't like it, then unhook it. And I see that we do have another question that came in. Can you go through where on the lead the due date is? Yes. So I think we're talking about the bid due date in this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and by the way, on the calendar, just for fun, you can right mouse click and you can navigate directly to that job right from the calendar appointment. Okay. So I just did that. And on the bid and proposal info is where the bid due date is. Okay. So it's on that tab. So that's where you set the bid due date, but also there's other key dates. Now, this is not going to show up on your calendar necessarily, but we're tracking when the bid was submitted. We're also tracking when you expect to get the contract, and then also when you actually got the contract. But while we're on this subject, that was a really good question. You might have a question about when the job is supposed to start and when the job is supposed to end. That's on the job details tab. So you can estimate when the job starts and ends, and then when it actually starts, you can set that date as well. And that will help, obviously, with your forecasting, but also, of course, when you schedule a crew or a project manager. Okay. I think we're clean on the questions. Okay. So I'll wrap up the meeting. Thank you, everybody. You'll get the recording tomorrow. And thank you for attending.